today's debate episode, the second one we'll be doing, is one that's pretty much a big talking point in football at the moment, with two hot strikers who have had very good weeks in the Champions League and well, not so good domestically yesterday for Kylian Mbappe, but in terms of his just performances recently. We're going to be doing who's better, Kylian Mbappe or Erling Haaland. And I've got a few questions to ask George and Ethan, who are going to debate their answers to you. Obviously, got a lot of good.
King, before we start, I want to say to everyone, I want everyone right now, if you're new to the channel, like and smack subscribe on before we start. It's for free. It doesn't cost anything. We're not charging anything.
You gotta like just press subscribe. We're not we want you to
just right down here somewhere at the bottom. Just click it. Yeah. Just click it.
Also guys, leave one of his account details and so you can send him the money for $1 if you subscribe. So
we want to fund the mukbang, you see.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so to my first question.
Well, we need to know who's on what side first, Kingu.
Yeah.
Okay, well, George is on the side of Kylian Mbappe.
I'm Team Mbappe.
Ethan's on the side of Erling Haaland.
Yep.
For me, both players that, in my personal opinion, are on the same level. But obviously, these two might have different opinions, and obviously, I'm not involved in that. I'm just giving my quick analysis. That's me done. I could go on a lot longer, but I'm not going to. And we'll get started. So, the first question we have today for this debate episode is: who do you think at the end of the season will have the most goals scored? So I'll let Ethan start first on his case with Erling Haaland.
So, the best young striker in the world, 20 years of age, an absolute bagsman. So, at this moment in time, if I got the stats up already, in the Bundesliga, Haaland has scored 17 goals in 17 appearances with 3 assists. And I think currently he's the top scorer of the Champions League, if I'm not wrong, with 8 goals in 5 appearances. And in the cup pardon?
I thought it was Rashford, the top goal scorer. Or he was.
Nah, he was second. Yeah,
no
he was
way.
second.
He won't be now. He'll be taken down by that. Obviously, we'll carry on.
But yeah. So bagging in the goals, absolute bagsman, and it's basically halfway through the season already. Also, just to add, he did have some time out through to injury as well. So I think he would be up there with the likes of definitely the Bundesliga, with likes of Lewandowski. I think Andre Silva's bagged in quite a few in the Bundesliga, but Haaland's up there. Like the way he plays is like the way his stature is very bulky. You think he'd be very heavy on the ball, like a Lukaku or Lewandowski type, but he's really quick on the ball and his finishing, I can argue, is better than Mbappe's, if I'm honest.
How many goals did you say he'd scored this season so far?
17 and 17.
I would just like to quickly say something. Lukaku and Lewandowski are the top goal scorers in the domestic league, so Lukaku's still a very good player.
Yeah.
That's me. That's my point said.
You're saying about goals, Ethan, and Mbappe's only on 16, which it's only one behind him.
How many games?
He's played 22 out of 26 for PSG this season, but but he can still catch up to that. The way that the French league is. I know obviously PSG struggled yesterday, but with the quality of opposition in the French league, it's almost a given that Kylian Mbappe will be getting more goals this season. Because if you're comparing to goal scoring, it's more likely that Mbappe will end up getting more goals than Haaland in respective leagues, because you got to look at the quality of the league basically. Well, obviously it doesn't really show. It doesn't really help Mbappe's case for like how competitive it might be. It shows that he's still scoring goals at a top level in football. And obviously, you got to bear in mind, he's been doing it longer than Haaland as well. Haaland's only just recently come onto the scene, while Mbappe's been around for a long time.
Are you mad?
He's been around longer.
I know he's older, but you can't say that he's just come onto the scene.
Haaland only came into people's consciousness like last season.
Are you mad? Like
When he was
of like
scoring-
normal fans like who like just seen football due to like seeing it on Twitter, but Haaland's been banging in goals since his like the Salzburg days, and
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he came onto the scene when he was at Salzburg during that season before he joined Dortmund halfway through the season, didn't he?
well, yeah, but back in
Not every fan's going to know before what Haaland was doing, but Mbappe
You need to-
for a lot longer.
but you need to remember he was only at Salzburg for a season. He joined when he was at Mulder. My very good friends, Oli Solskjaer, brought him into the fold at Mulder, getting in the goals here. He scored 14 goals in 39 appearances. Then he went for Salzburg for a season, scored 17 in 16, and then halfway through, and then in January he went to Dortmund.
Yeah, but while Haaland was still, he was still say, and he just starting his career scoring goals in like a high level. And Mbappe was already winning leagues with Monaco, and then obviously he had his big move to PSG.
He'd already won the World Cup as well. He'd already won the World Cup.
It's any other team other than PSG to win a league, so you can't take that away from Monaco.
Plus, he'd already won the World Cup as well.
Exactly. Well, obviously we'll probably get onto that a bit later as well, because in that case he's already a step ahead of Haaland for trophies because he's won a World Cup, which I know. Go on.
I do have to agree with George on this one, Ethan, because although I agree with your stats are correct, Haaland probably was on a good run of football, definitely developing his game in those seasons. He wasn't, because obviously the Austrian league and the Norwegian league is not very well published, is it? You know, it's not a big league. And obviously Salzburg weren't doing very good, or they weren't really posing a big threat in the Champions League. But that, I think what it was, because Liverpool were in the same group, Haaland's recognition come because he was literally banging in goals. He scored a few against Liverpool. He scored a few against other teams in there, and then just recognition got. And then as soon as he moved to Dortmund, people started realising it. And then in this last year, he's become a big star player. So obviously he's had a massive upturn in status tonight. But
if you put
Kingy, I have to agree with George on that one.
The question you're asking, who's going to score the most goals? And I think Haaland, even with a struggling Dortmund side who's currently sixth in the Bundesliga, he's still one of the top goal scorers.
I do agree with you on that, but I'm just saying on the point George made, I'm not saying about this bit of the topic. I'm just saying on the whole point made, I'm saying George has a point that he has only been in it for a year. So that bit I agree with, but obviously that's not the whole point. But he's made a good point in that topic I've said.
Okay.
You've also, just quickly, you've also got to consider the quality of teammates that Mbappe's got around him. Obviously, you've got Neymar, you've got the likes of Di Maria, you've got obviously, you say
that, Benny. Haaland's got probably creative-wise one of the best wingers in world football at the moment in Jadon Sancho. Creatively, he's up there with Messi. Sancho is more than Neymar.
What?
Stats wise, Sancho is the top 5 assist makers in the last 2 to 3 years. That's facts.
I think you can compare him to Messi.
I'm not comparing to Messi, but stats wise, he's up there with assists to Messi. I'm not saying he's on the level of Messi, but I'm saying in the level of assists that he's brought to Dortmund, he's done around the same amount of assists as Messi. That's facts.
I think personally, if we come this part of the question, if I have to, who I think is giving the more conclusive stuff, I will say. Personally, I'm going to go with Ethan on this part. Just basic on the point, I think that Haaland at the moment, as much as Mbappe is a fantastic player, and I think on technically, I think he probably is a little bit better. I think in terms of goal scoring at the moment, I'll have to agree with Ethan on this one. So for me, this part, Ethan's 1-0 up at the moment. But obviously, there's 3 more questions to go, and there's still plenty of time for you to win the full debate. So have you got anything else to add to that, or do you want to go on? Do you want to produce a second question?
On, yeah, we can move on.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. A pleasure and a privilege, as always, to be at Anfield, where we are hoping for another miracle like Istanbul. Shaqiri in his own half rolls it square towards Matip. Mitchell Van. John there. Up to Mane. Mistake. Mane into the area. Great skill. Henderson's in the box. Henderson saves it.
City celebrating. The party really is just getting started. I've had to wait a very long time.